So recently I was watching Louis Rossman and he was talking about piracy and how now he is going to fly the high seas. And I wanted to give my take as a developer and how I support him. And here's why. Recently, we've been seeing the shockwaves, especially Sony, and there's plenty of other companies, how the consumer is not considered as the end user. We're basically considered as product. Anything that we purchase in these big multi-million-dollar stores, no matter what product that we purchase, is not ours. We're just renting it for the time being. We're only using it until terms of service are fulfilled, and once they are not, or they are not renewed, we lose everything. There are many other companies that do it. Nintendo, we saw that they shut down their retro consoles, so considered now the 3DS and the Wii U. Those shops are now considered defunct. All the previous purchases that you've done are not tied to your account. So be it. So now you have lost your whole catalog. Doesn't matter what games you've bought, no matter how many decades that you've played these games, they are no longer viable. Now we go Sony and Discovery. Discovery and Sony could not come to terms of agreement on their licensing. Discovery decided that they were going to pull. PlayStation decided, hey, you know what? All the users that's purchased all this material, doesn't matter, TV show, series, whatever, you are no longer allowed to use it. And the reason for this is, again, that licensing agreement. What Sony doesn't realize is that the consumer that poured their hard-earned money into this service, regardless of licensing agreement, should be able to download this material. We're all in this capitalism type of system. It doesn't matter. All that they care about at the end of the day is that money. These digital storefronts are being considered the same thing as television, basically cable. Cable providers, they get into negotiation with the channels disagree, they pull all that content away. And we've seen this decades. If you guys have been children of cable networks, me as Time Warner, they have done this for years, trying to renegotiate contracts where the person that is the provider, i.e. Discovery, gets a larger piece of the pie that is now on syndicated cable. What they don't realize is that piracy makes things easy. If I have to go and fight you for the thing that I purchase, I can go to 50 different streaming sites and pull the same content. Yes, I get an annoying ad. I can throw an ad blocker and call it a day. That's where I'm going to go. For decades, I guarantee that there's been plenty of people, i.e. many of people with multiple anime streaming sites, because Funimation, Toei, all these other companies did not decide to give us a consolidated and concise list of places that we can actually watch this content. Shoot, for many years, you couldn't even go to digital storefronts to even download half of this content. So where was it easier to get this content? And I know Japan hates it, but it was mostly those anime streaming sites. What that ended up doing was opening up a huge market where now you have your Netflixes, you have Amazon Prime, and all these other companies that have now created a lane because of what we were doing with piracy. I mean, we as the people who were doing it, not me, because FBI don't come at me, but many of those places have made it easier. When you pay for these platforms and they make it harder for you, it becomes easier to justify piracy. Even nowadays, there's multiple games that you cannot get on any storefront, and it makes it easier for emulation. And that's where Nintendo and most of these companies decide that they want to fight against, where hey, you're not supposed to emulate this game. But our argument and many other people's arguments are, if I can't get this game in the legal means, there is no way that you should let this game go to waste, this source code, this hard work, let it basically go into the ether where no one is allowed to even attempt to even use this game. If I wanted to play, let's say, NBA Streets, and I wanted to download that, it'd be a lot easier just to set up my computer, plug the game in, put my controller of choice, and play the game to my heart's content. But if an EA doesn't want me to have any digital rights to it, or even allow me to play this game in its full intended glory, which we've seen with Crazy Taxi, with song licenses, or even San Andreas, the original. And we're talking about the original with the original soundtrack, not this edited, glorified, remastered nonsense. I'm going to side with piracy. Every single time I will side with piracy. Corporations, the ball's in your court. If you want us to get this in the legal means and pay you for it, then you need to find a way that solves all the beneficial check boxes but you need to be able to provide it to me in legal means, and I will purchase it. Make it easy and I will go. If the harder you make it, the easier piracy becomes. And with that one, I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. And with that one, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.